Hello, and welcome to a special edition of Shard News. I'm Tigerboat. It is with great pleasure that we can announce finally, after 40 days, War 127 has come to an end. The Wardens have claimed the victory, with 31 out of 31 points needed to declare the win. Over the final week, the Warden faction managed to capture victory towns in Umbral Wildwood, Allard's Bight, Sableport, Origin, Endless Shore, the Heartlands, and Reaver's Pass. Cheez would continue its push to the south of our lane, fighting in the Drowned Vale, Shackled Chasm, and our last stop of Acrifia. Let's talk about what we got up to during this. Our week would start off with us assisting our friends over at PZPIO with their frigate. Cheez would provide assistance as damage control crew and ammunition deliveries. Together we sailed into the Drowned Vale and managed to dehusk multiple concrete bunkers throughout the east of the region, clearing the way for our ground forces to push south. Sadly, this would be one of our last joint operations together this war, but from everyone at Cheez, we would like to say thank you to all PZPIO members for being such good friends to play with this war. With the Drowned Vale liberated, Cheez would finally reach Shackled Chasm. A portion of Cheez forces would hit the Savages hard, destroying the hastily erected defences, garrison houses, and finally getting the tap on the town hall. A couple days later, Cheez would support two separate attempts to take the victory town of Silk Farms. On the second attempt, with help of a longhook, the town hall was taken, adding another victory point to the tally. On the final days of the war, Cheez members were dotted about many fronts, enjoying the freedom that comes with the last days. Despite this, many Cheez still wanted to complete our goal of pushing south in our lane. With that, we provided most of our logistics to a longhook belonging to LQF. With their large ship and many others, we would be part of a joint force which would ultimately tap all of the towns in Acrifia, apart from sadly the victory town. Despite this, it was still a great way to finish the war, and sweetened with an assist on the kill of an enemy battleship. Later that evening, the final victory point in Reaver's Pass would be taken, and the guns would fall silent on War 127. With the war over, we caught up with Bob for his final reflections on Cheez's efforts this war.
Well, Cheez came into War 127 with the plan of a public ammo factory. Working out of Viper Pit, our ammo fac made tens of thousands of shells for our lane and adjacent fronts, making a massive impact. Our plan for regular logistics this war was to inspire creativity and freedom for our members filling our stockpiles. We were lucky to have many expats from other regiments join us this war, would bolster our team with their own ideas and methods. In the end, we were able to push through Marbon with tremendous amounts of high-impact logistics and through sheer grit grind down the outnumbering enemies. This push kept going well into Drown, and past the nuke we turned it into total colonial collapse. With this, I have to say I am massively proud of all of our scroopers, our factory dancers, our iron ship enthusiasts. This drive, your engagement and initiative made it possible, keeping us well supplied throughout all of the war.
As you could hear there, War 127 was a great war for Cheez. For the first 20 days of the war, Cheez dug in defiant at our Bubble Basin bunker, keeping the colonials at bay in our lane, and most importantly, our facility safe. Over that period, Cheez would blow up, burn down, or steal anything the enemy threw at us. On day 17, we would be directly involved in the capture of Abandoned Ward, with a multi-squad combined arms up. 4 days later, on day 21, we would make our big breakthrough in our main lane, tapping the victory town of Maiden's Vale in Marbon Hollow. With its capture and tech, 3 days later, it was time to say goodbye to our facility in Viper Pit, and we would move into the centre of town at Maiden's Vale. This would be vital for pushes in the coming days. On day 27, for the first time, Marbon Hollow would be fully liberated, after a big force pushed in and destroyed the underground fortress situated at Lockheed. For the next week, Cheez members would be active across the north of Drowned Vale, and also host our big triple battery of SPGs to break concrete, allowing forces to push south of Treasury. With a nuke dropping in the Drowned Vale, Cheez would assist in the capture of various towns across the Hex until its liberation 4 days later. As discussed today, the last 3 days of the war, we would continue our high spirits and come as close as possible to completing our main goal of making our lane blue. With War 127 at an end, we here at Cheez would like to say thank you to all the regiments and friends we worked with this war to make it as special as it was. As is tradition, Cheez always joins the losing side, and so for us here at Shard News, we would like to say goodbye to everyone on the Warden side, and that we look forward to seeing you all on the battlefield next war. Thank you to all Cheez members, who without Shard News would not have been possible, and to my fellow Cheez media team members, Tawonga and Potato. And remember, something dies today. I have been Tigerboat. Thank you for watching the final episode of Shard News this war, brought to you by the Ministry of Propaganda.